Welcome everyone to the What's Left podcast. John here with Jake and Brad. We are the punk rock garage band podcast, adding our voice to resistance as loudly as we can here on the Derealization Nation Media Network. If you haven't done it already, please like and subscribe. If you had, boy, do we appreciate you. The nation is growing every single day, and it is something to see. We've got so much to talk about today. Rob Reiner's son has officially been charged with the murder of his parents. We're going to get to that in a different segment of this show. In this one, we're going to talk about Trump is also blockading Venezuela. So he has blockaded Venezuelan oil. He is calling weapons of mass destruction, the NPSM-7. I don't know if our average listener knows what the Imperial Boomerang is, but we're going to talk about that too. And Jake, will you put up this? It's been a busy day. Put up this nice little summary from Sarah Longwell at the Bulwark. We've got a lot of things happening today. Outside of that, we've got last 48 hours. Trump's horrific Rob Reiner murder tweet. Wiles's should-be career-ending Vanity Fair interview. Hilarious. The pictures. Can't wait to get to that. Cash on Katie Miller's podcast with his girlfriend with a campus shooter is still at large. And Hegseth is refusing to show Congress the tape of his potential war crimes. And Susie Wiles says the article published this morning is a disingenuously famed hit piece on me and the finest president, White House staff, and cabinet in history. So, what is that staff cabinet up to? The president of the United States has tweeted out, is this a declaration of war? Because it sort of sounds like one. Um, but he is accusing Venezuela of stealing the oil. Jake, you got the bleat? You can throw it up there.
I believe he's accused of stealing land too, which I'm confused by.
Yeah, I mean, as always, it's confusing because it's coming from that guy. But Venezuela, he says, is completely surrounded by the largest armada ever assembled in the history of South America. It will only get bigger, and the shocks that will be like nothing they have ever seen before until such a time as they return to the United States of America all of the oil, land, and other assets that they previously stole from us. The illegitimate Maduro regime is using oil from these stolen oil fields to finance themselves, drug terrorism, human trafficking, murder, and kidnapping. For the theft of our assets and many other reasons, including terrorism, drug smuggling, and human trafficking, the Venezuelan regime has been designated a foreign terrorist organization. Therefore, today I'm voting a total and complete blockade of all sanctioned oil tankers going into and out of Venezuela. The illegal aliens and criminals that the Maduro regime has sent to the United States during the weak and inept Biden administration are being returned to Venezuela at a rapid pace. America will not allow criminals, terrorists, or other countries to rob, threaten, or harm our nation, and likewise will not allow a hostile regime to take our oil, land, or any other assets, all of which must return to the United States immediately. Thank you for your attention to this matter. He forgot to sign it. He forgot to sign it. Um, wow, that's unusual. Um, but it's unmistakably him. This one is not fake. We can't confirm this is actually happening. Guys, uh, Hegseth met with the Congress today to try to explain the bombings. AOC said it was a waste of time, as could be expected, because this is what they want. They're being pretty open about it. You remember when the government used to lie to us about these things?
Yeah, now they're just openly committing war crimes. At least they had the audacity to fucking lie to us before.
Yeah, it's kind of wild. Um, to watch this man slowly morph into George W. Bush has been something to see. Um,
Try to get back them old school Republican votes.
dude, they've gone full neocon. Uh, our whole lives, all of us, there have been at war with somebody in the Middle East until just recently. And now this, it's unclear what assets he thinks this has been stolen or what land South America could have possibly taken from us. I know that he accused uh, Tren de Aragua of being brought here by the Venezuelan government and occupying apartment buildings in Colorado, right? This was one of his things. You guys remember this one? This story?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Well, he also accused it of the same thing in Chicago. Remember the building with the Black Hawk helicopters and the kids being zip tied outside naked and the separation of people in each van? Well, obviously, Trinidad and Tobago had not taken over any of those things, but what was true is that those landlords were trying to get those people out of the apartments so that they could devalue and sell them. So that was the real reason that these people went ahead and did what they did. Yeah, this is nothing to do with Trinidad or Aragua, but perhaps those are the assets and land that Trump is saying that they stole is these apartment buildings from these landlords by renting them.
Maybe I don't. In his fictional world, he could be talking about anything. He could think that South America is supposed to be North America, and they just stole it.
That, that is possible. Jake, do you think he's talking about Florida?
Why Florida?
It's closer. I don't know. Maybe Texas.
Maybe he just doesn't know what a map is. Maybe he actually just doesn't know what's going on.
That is possible. I I don't expect him to be a cartographer, but as the president of the United States, you think he would know something.
You'd also think he would know common decency, but we've missed the mark on that one too.
Fuck yeah, Jesus Christ. That's another one. Like this is stuff like even most of MAGA is like no thank you to the Forever War and the calling Rob a murdered man and his wife. Uh, you know, just despicable. Uh,
I wonder if he's creating a blockade of Venezuela oil because the price of oil is crashing and he's hoping to limit the international supply to make more profits for his buddies. I wonder if that has anything to do with it.
that's crazy. Just let you know, he's having a address tomorrow on the TV. I assume that he will come out and sit in front of the, well, it can't be the Resolute desk because that's in Mar-a-Lago. But I guess he could be in Mar-a-Lago. But he'll have to be sitting behind the Resolute desk, like back in the post 9/11 days, and he'll come out and let us know that Venezuela is hiding weapons of mass destruction and full of terrorizers doing terrorist things. And we're going to bring the full force of the American military, and we're just gonna level the place, cause not cause of oil, not cause of oil, not cause I got terrible weapons of mass destruction just destroying America, and we just can't afford to have that. And I'm sure that probably Osama bin Laden is hiding there. I know that Israel thinks that like Iran and Hezbollah and they just throw these words around like it's fucking nothing. But the point is we have really given the president a lot of latitude with terrorism, and nobody knows that better than Benjamin Netanyahu and Republicans and Democrats. Just the whole system knows, has known post George W. Bush that we have left this giant loophole open to just go after anybody who we might label a terrorist. And so they've dropped the narco terrorism thing, and now they have accused them of having weapons of mass destruction, the key words, right? Chemical weapons, weapons of mass destruction. Now they're just terrorists, um, which gives them broad authority.
My question is the Cleveland Clinic now a terrorist organization?
Well, Brad, why don't you explain to people who might not get why that's funny or
Well,
plausible, I guess.
because hospitals have fentanyl. Like it's a scheduled drug that is used in our medical practice in the United States of America.
I can only assume, Jake, that we will soon see F-35 swooping down on ambulances in the street, as they are carrying weapons of mass destruction as well. Um, I know your generation, especially anti-war, lots of people thought Trump was the anti-war president. Did you misremember him as being somebody who was anti-war from his first presidency? I wonder, or were you pretty clear on that?
No. Let's
Yeah,
just start with no, he does not strike me as a man who would be okay with like stopping all wars. He doesn't seem like the type. He likes to, one of the men, throw their pee around. So he's
yeah,
not the one to like sit down and like try to make peace with things. He's like one that wants to show that he's bigger and stronger. You know what I mean? Like it's just that personality type. You can just tell that he's not a peaceful man.
right. He's the human embodiment of truck nuts.
Right. Like if you know how to like read people even the slightest, you would know Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's definitely not the one that's going to bring peace to all. Okay? He's not the one that's going to bring us all peace and forgiveness. It's not him. It ain't him.
That ain't your guy.
No.
That ain't your guy. Yeah, I agree. I don't understand how people because people are coming around to this, I guess is what I'm getting at, like now all of a sudden. And I just don't feel like this was ever like in question. Uh, I especially I don't know. Maybe you thought something about the economy, but the fall for things like, he cares about veterans or, you know, he fucking believes in peace. I just don't get that one.
Or he's a man of God.
Yeah,
They fell for
yeah.
a lot of fucking lies, John. They fell for a lot of fucking lies.
So many. So many. And the only other time, and this is why people like know that you're sick, folks, is because like this is what a codependent relationship looks like. Like this is what abusive relationships look like. Like nobody believes the bullshit about Billy and you slipping and falling into a doorknob. Like nobody believes that except for you. You believe that, and you tell everybody that, even though you know it's a stupid lie. Like, we know these doorknobs aren't jumping up to get you. We know it's Billy. We know it's Trump. You know it's Trump. You've known the whole time. That's what I'm getting at. It's like you're not like finding this out. You knew, you just were in denial. Or maybe they didn't know.
We no, bro. We knew it's denial. We knew when he mocked the disabled reporter.
Hmm. We
We've
knew
known
because
for a
he,
decade.
right, we knew because he gave it okay to do what they wanted to do, which was hate minorities and other groups. They were
Yeah.
okay with turning the blind eye because they were okay, once again, to show their true colors.
Well, here we have what's called the Imperial Boomerang. And the base of the Imperial Boomerang theory is basically that anything that your country is willing to do to another country, they will eventually boomerang back and do it to you. And so Trump has issued, although it's not really mainstream news, we've mentioned it more than once on the show, but the MPSM 7, which is a official decree that makes basically anyone or anything who disagrees with Trump, Christianity, or capitalism a terrorist, a potential terrorist. And so now you have like a domestic, they're setting this up, as you can see, very clearly and on, like this is not like they're not doing it in the dark. They're setting this up for anyone to see that you me, and anybody else. And if you think that you're exempt because you fucking have a Trump t-shirt, you better think again. Because if you get in the way, you're fucking gone. If you decide that you don't want to like give your house up for eminent domain for the next data center that needs to be built, you think that they're going to stop because you voted for Trump? Bullshit. You think your fucking electricity prices are going to be lower than your neighbors because you voted for Trump and she voted for Harris? I don't think so.
That's
Uh,
not how it works.
it's just not how it works. So, yeah, this idea that anyone or anything could be a terrorist, and if you can make fentanyl a weapon of mass destruction, I mean, China has extra weapons of mass destruction shipping. You have, Rick down the street has weapons of mass destruction in little tiny bags. Like the guy who supplies Rick, you know, Mexico is full of weapons of mass destruction. Any potential boat, like they just have the full-on excuse. And people said when this happened back in the George Bush era that these loopholes needed to be closed. And this was the failure of the main failure the Democrats really need to deal with is the fact that they never had the political will for whatever reason. It's the money, but for whatever reason, it had no political will to do the right thing ever. George Bush should be in prison. Dick Cheney should not have died comfortably at home. Like that should not have happened. These people are sick fucking criminals, and the list goes on and on and on. Kissinger but they did not close this loophole even. They didn't even close the loophole that allowed them to operate outside the law because they like to be able to do it themselves. They felt that they were righteous operators of the same unrighteous, fucking unholy power that should just belong to no one. The whole point of the United States was to make sure that no one person could do this. And they ignored it. So like when we talk about why democracy is gone, like it starts here. We gave it up with the Patriot Act. We gave it up after 9/11, and it's coming back in your face. Everything that people said back then has come 100% true. Even Alex Jones was partially right. We had the wrong people, but the right ideas. We're being surveilled. We're giving up all of our freedoms. We are potentially being be attacked by our own government. They are getting us used to military in our streets and getting used to calling our neighbors terrorists. It's not a safe place to be.
It's what they want. Like you said, we've like given up our democracy. We like fought for our freedoms, and then all they had to do was just be like, the terrorists are coming to take everything, and they're like, we don't want freedom, we want safety.
Yep.
So they're
Yeah,
like,
that
just do whatever you got to do.
yep. That's that's the Fox News playbook. Scare the shit out of people and get them to beg for safety. Um, and that's where we are now. And that's what I just want to say. Like every person has, because now the media is complicit too. Trump is selling off another piece of trying to sell off another piece of the media to the Ellisons. Uh, they're already pretty biased because they're are giant corporations whose interests are not in line with people's just by fucking just because that they're not people. And you know all of the media is complicit. So if you have any sort of, whether it's your Facebook or your people, more importantly, the people in your life or your tech, just make sure that you promote and talk about the right ideas, because it's these small things that it's these small publications or the new version of that that can help to start a revolution. It's the small publications that brought about the end of tyranny in 1776, and it'll be that again. It'll be small things. So if you think that it doesn't matter uh, to like and share a video, believe me, it does. And I'm not just talking about ours. I'm talking about anything that you see, ICE roughing somebody up, share that shit, you know, all this stuff. See stuff about MPSM7, spread it. MSPM7, spread it because it needs to be talked about, you know? It's exhausting. Everywhere you look, guys, I just like on your particular devices, you've noticed the shift toward right wing or pro-Trump propaganda?
On TikTok, I see so many bot accounts making like AI clips of Donald Trump or just like on word text or on screen text about like pro Trump shit. But it's very clearly a bot. Like it's not,
Yeah.
it's just pushed all the time. But you can see what's fake and what's real. Or these people aren't intelligent enough to make a live video TikTok like of their face. So they just use, I don't know, Microsoft Paint.
No, that's sophisticated AI technology. Actually, it just looks like Microsoft Paint. Jake, what about your socials? Feeling pretty.
No, I really don't get too much Trump propaganda. I get a lot of AI, but not Trump propaganda.
That's a good thing.
I'm too far gone for that shit. They know. They know better than to even try.
See, my problem is I fucking engage with them all the
But you
time.
do. That's your issue. I don't. I keep my little piece on TikTok. That is my one speck of peace that I do have left in this world.
Yeah. It's how I fixed my Threads algorithm. I blocked Fox News and any of the other ones, and I just stopped aggressively responding to every single clickbait. And now we're back to like a more normal flow. But the fact that they're pushing this shit is extraordinarily obvious to me. Um, but all I consume is political stuff. So
Anytime I see them supporting Trump, I'm just now saying, that's a good boy. That's a good boy. That's a good boy.
oh shit.
I know they hate that one.
Yes, they do. Well, listen, we know it's not actually about drugs, but if it was about drugs, one of the things that you would do would be help make sure that more Americans have health care. I'm alive today because I was able to receive Medicaid assistance when I needed it to get treatment, to get help, and to get through my addiction. And my story is just one of many. And it's a lifelong struggle that many go back and forth with. But the aggregate good that paying for recovery does is worth it for society. Well worth it. It's necessary. Um, so if you cared about those things, if you cared about people at all, you pay for them. If you cared about veterans, you wouldn't be cutting jobs at the VA. So who people who also historically have struggled with drug and alcohol addiction. So not only is it not about drugs, guys, they're actively going out of their way to kill somebody. So just let's talk real quick about your personal experiences with healthcare right now and just healthcare generally. Um, Jake, you want to start this one?
Sure, I can. So I do. So I had like a transitional phase in Ohio. So like I didn't pay for my work's health insurance because the one I got from the state was cheaper. So like I kept that one throughout my time there. And when I moved to PA, I haven't switched over yet, but I've been getting notifications on a rate going up, which was absolutely insane. Like wouldn't even think it was like the same plan. So like I had a pretty nice copay and like my monthly was not bad at all, like very manageable. But and like the deductible was a little bit high, but like like not crazy. Like I would still be able to survive if I had to. You know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna like immediately die.
Yeah.
But now going into January, it would make it so like I could like barely afford gas and like things on top of it. Like I would have to pinch every penny just to afford something that I wouldn't even know if I needed or not. You know what I mean? Like it's like this thing where I haven't used it. Like I've used it maybe majorly once in the 2 years that I've had it. Once where I've actually had to go to the ER. I've done like a couple of doctor's visits, but that's about it. I'm not like a frequent. I stay pretty healthy. I'm not too crazy, but God forbid if I had to do it with the new plan, I don't know what I would do.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. And the GOP has clearly no replacement in place.
No.
It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. Brad, how about you?
Not only do they have no plan for replacement, they're also not willing to bring a vote to extend the ACA subsidies.
Right.
So that's official. Mike Johnson said today we're not extending the ACA subsidies. Get fucked, America.
Merry Christmas, right?
Um, I,
You could say that now. No more on
right.
Christmas.
I'm very fortunate that my wife, her employer offers us incredible health insurance, and even our premiums have gone up this year. Not like the ACA has gone up, fortunately, because I don't know, we'd have to like sell a house or a car or an organ or something to pay them. Um, so
Hmm.
yeah, we're fortunate in that sense. But even like I said, our premiums have gone up um, this year as well. I don't know the exact number, but they've gone up.
Significantly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and they're going to. And even from a financial standpoint, like you said, you use Medicaid to get treatment to change your life. And what you've paid in taxes, that investment in you is now become a net profit for the United States.
exactly.
Like even just from a money thing, the money
Hmm.
you've paid in taxes and the money that you've put into the economy by being employed for this amount of time since you've been off the sauce
Hmm.
is a net profit for the United States government. It's so simple to see. Rehabbing people changes lives and it makes them better people.
Yes. And honestly too, like if we're gonna talk about it like from a strict business point of view, um, where most of the jobs are needed are in places like hospitality, restaurants, low wage, hard jobs that ordinarily people would not sign up for, and recovering addicts are among demographics of people who willingly and eagerly sign up to do those jobs. Overwhelmingly. So, I mean, most of the jobs people get out of prison are in factories or, doing maintenance or cleaning. It's a positive all around. I just overall, uh, my position and the position of science and study of sociology proves that investing in people always pays dividends. Always. Investing in capital, sometimes.
I have a person in my life and she is an advocate for recovery. She used to place people. Um That was like her jam. Very outspoken about helping people. That's her move. Well, also a huge Trumper, which is real weird to me. So today she posted about the White House declaring fentanyl a weapon of mass destruction. And I just commented and said, unfortunately, this is not a move to help our people. This is just a move to progress war on another country. And she went straight to God on me, bro.
That can't be your get out of jail for free
I'm
card.
like, y'all
You
aren't
can't.
trying to hear it. Y'all aren't trying to hear anything.
No.
Like, I'm not, y'all aren't trying to hear anything. This is silly as fuck. If y'all think that this is to help the American people, yeah, right. If they didn't want drugs here, they wouldn't be here. It's that simple. It's that simple. If they
Yeah.
didn't want them here, they wouldn't be here.
Is it weird though that I like feel like that's almost progress because she didn't say Biden?
Well, that's true. That's true.
It's almost progress. I know, almost. It's not, but it's
But
almost
then you can
that.
at least debate it if this is talked about Biden. You can't even say because it's the religion.
I don't even believe in debating these people because they're so far wrong and so far outside of reality. Like if you won't come to me here on Earth, how do you expect me to talk to you?
We Democrats need to bridge that gap.
Why is
Oh,
it our
we
responsibility all the goddamn fucking time? Why, like, that's such nonsense. We already like, go fuck yourself. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not. I'm tired of being the fucking. Nobody wants to
because
be the responsible parent all the time, so you can go
because they're
fuck
too
off and
prideful.
they're too,
They're too
yeah.
prideful. They'll wait and they'll pretend like they never supported this bullshit once he's gone and the fucking it all wears off and they're like, "What the fuck? We were out there, guys. What were we doing?" And they'll pretend like it never happened. And that's what they hope for. They're not going to come to us and be like, "Hey, we fucked up." They're just going to wait and hope that we forget that they fucked up.
yep,
Yep.
yep. And so they thought that he'd be good on foreign affairs. They thought he'd be good on the economy. We're gonna get to the economy here in a second. But just a lot of if you're a China hawk, whatever the fuck that means, if you think that like China worried about China taking over, it's an actual legitimate worry now. China got ahead of us on Palestine as well. China jumped ahead of us on Palestine after meeting with France. So in pledging actual money to the reconstruction of Palestine. They have provided more already than the United States of America, and they're getting in good with showing themselves to be good partners to Europe, who Trump has decided can go fuck themselves because he would rather suck Vladimir Putin off in public than actually deal with the fact that you know Vladimir Putin is playing him like a fucking bitch. Um, so yeah, there's that. It's possible too. Maybe like this whole Rob Reiner thing is about Russia. I mean, he did kind of say that, and we're gonna talk more about Rob in the next segment too, and his wife, and but his legacy. But man, it's crazy to me that like this man basically came out and took credit for that. Like he basically came out and said like this happened because I wanted it to. I remember, right? Like that's basically what his message was.
Yeah, he definitely said that Rob Reiner's opposition to Donald Trump is the reason for his death.
Right. I mean, does that make Donald Trump a terrorizer? Is he terrorist now? I mean, it's like a that's what it sounds like. It sounds like, like ISIS takes credit for, you know, attack. Trump takes
In
credit
the
for
in the
attack.
1600s, they'd have called him a witch.
Yeah. Russia, Russia, Russia.
Yeah,
And Rob Reiner happens to be making a documentary about Trump and Putin, which I mean, we can only assume looks a little bit like Love Island or something. Uh, but yeah, it just so happens. It just so happens. And I'm not here just gonna sit here to play conspiracy, but I'm just here to hold this man to account for the things that he literally said. You know, like this is literally happening, and that's what he literally said. He brought up Russia. He's the one who did that in his statement. That's fucking wild.
I am here to play conspiracies. So if you'd like to have a talk about it, feel free to comment.
Jesus Christ. Jake, which one of these is John Benet Ramsey in this situation?
Oh my God.
Which one?
Yeah, which character is John Benet Ramsey and this is it
Carlin Levitt.
there is one that says Erica Kirk. I don't know if you've seen that one.
Look at this.
No, I can't because the eyes. That is not.
Yeah.
None of those eyes were not it.
No, those eyes have been placed there by the devil himself. All right. The economy is great, so quit talking about it. JD Vance came to Allentown, Pennsylvania, to talk about how wonderful it was, denied everything, blamed immigrants. You know, the same old roundup. But the jobs numbers don't lie. Um, they came in at a paltry 64,000, which, as Jerome Powell said, they will probably be off by as many as 60, which probably means about 4,000 jobs were actually created. But regardless, even if you accept the 64 number, it's pathetic, especially since we lost 105,000 in October. And this is with employees returning to work after the government shutdown. So this has got a little boost from that too, and it's still just garbage. Garbage. The stock market might run hot sometimes, but the economy, more generally speaking, is trash for everyone.
The market did not run hot today,
Yeah, no, not today. It did not.
but they don't see that like they do see, but they can't do it at once. So like peaking profits, and then they know like you can only keep this facade up for so long, dude. But it's obviously not great. It's obviously not good.
No,
You talk about like the mortgage debt and the credit card debt and the car loan debt and the student loan debt, and we don't have any money. We don't have any money. We have no money.
none, zero, nothing. Uh, Jake, can you throw up the economy ones? We'll run through these real quick. Some other bad signs. We are officially, by the way, guys, in case you didn't know, the rest of the world is catching up to the Derealization Nation Network and the What's Left podcast. Um, but we are now officially in a jobs recession. That's that's official. Uh,
Cash.
Here's a great one. Just in, Federal Reserve just pumped 5.2 billion into the US banking system through overnight repos. This is the sixth largest liquidity injection since COVID and surpasses even the peak of the dot-com bubble. I meant to look at how many of those six were in the past fucking couple of months, because I keep seeing headlines
There's
like
been
this.
multiple.
Yes, over and over and over again. Oh yeah, you can look at the chart there. Yeah, most of them. There's a big one here and then there as well.
Jeez.
And then three close to this size in between. So yeah, I mean, we are just pumping fake money at throwing fake money after fake money. Just yeah, asking for it. Sign
But John, we
up.
have the highest numbers. The highest numbers. 4.6% unemployment. The highest number since COVID.
That's true. That's true.
The highest
Numbers.
numbers.
No one has ever seen numbers like this before. Fleeve. The number Schleben. Schmorteen. More than 9 million US borrowers. There's a number, big number. Missed student loan payments as delinquency rise. For the first 12 months, Jake, can you give my old eyes a little zoom in there? I'm having a hard time with that one. Thanks. For the last 12 months, the government enforced a safety net called the on-ramp, which stops student loan servicers from reporting missing payments to credit bureaus. It blinded the system to the fact that millions of people were not paying their debts. Raggy. Uh, yeah, this is Americans struggling to repay their home debts. Is that big dump there? Go ahead to the next one, Jake.
When was that? When was that? When were they not struggling?
Oh, when they didn't, what when the payments were paused.
Oh man, who was the president when people in the economy was? Oh, that's right, dude. You fucking idiots! I can't believe you did this again. How could
Uh-huh.
you do this to us again?
Well, listen, farmers don't want people having welfare, okay? Also, the welfare that they got, not quite enough. I'm gonna need a little bit more, they say. So,
Oh,
sudden spike in the numbers is because of a mass wave of people stopped paying yesterday. It's because credit bureaus are finally processing a year-long backlog of shadow delinquencies all at once. Wow. So now we're seeing official data catch up to reality. We are in a depression, revealing that millions of Americans have been technically in default for months, but the system was just forbidden from acknowledging it until now. This exposes a widespread gamble that did not pay off. Give us the next slide, Jake. This is so fucking bad. A huge number of these borrowers either likely stop paying strategically or either betting that the government would eventually forgive their loans or simply choosing to spend their money elsewhere because there's no penalty for skipping the student loan bill. The period of consequence-free non-payment is over, and the economic fallout from this is going to be painful. I think there's one, maybe two more. As these missed payments finally hit credit reports, millions of people are watching their credit scores crash, which immediately freezes them out of the market for mortgages and car mortgages. Oh, that's
Oh.
funny. Get quality. Yeah, okay, home loan. Sure. Next slide. Uh, Here's the bad part. So they're scrambled to start paying again to fix their credit. They pull away from restaurants, travel, and retail, almost like consumerism requires people with money to keep it afloat. I
Man,
who could have who could have knew that? Who could have known? Jeez, jeepers. It sucks all the spending power out of the fun parts of the economy, and which is the only parts of the economy that exist here in the United States of America. Like name a different industry. Reduction paying off old interest. Wow, that's exciting. Acting as a brake on growth just when the economy needs consumers to keep spending. So yeah, that's what we need, more brakes. More brakes on this economy.
they're gonna. I just don't understand, dude. It just seems so simple.
Yeah.
Like, if we have money, I swear to God, we'll spend it. Like, they don't understand. They just don't understand.
Right. What's Elon Musk gonna do with a couple of $1 million?
They just
Hold on to
hoard
it.
the they just hoard the wealth. That's all they do.
Hmm.
We will stimulate every economy you want us to stimulate if
Yep.
we are, yeah, if you stop letting these billionaires take all the money.
That old thing about like, oh, if you give a homeless person $600, it'll be gone in 10 minutes. Yeah, because he's got $7 million worth of needs that you haven't filled. So yeah, that $600 ain't gonna last long, buddy boy, right? And he's gonna come to is he gonna come to a point maybe where he thinks to himself, well, you know what? I got $30 left, and I'm gonna fucking buy me some rocks? Maybe, but you never been there, so don't fucking judge. Uh anyway, I don't want to waste too much time talking about how bad it is because it's bad. But I do like to bring up cool little things that I find like that so we can really just pinpoint how bad it is outside of the stock market, right? Because I feel like stuff like that really encapsulates what people struggle with, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what that's what everybody can relate to. That's the one thing that everybody can relate to is money.
Yeah. Every in your everyday life.
Yep.
J Jake, I know you have student loans still. Brad, do you still have student loans?
I fortunately for me, the government took my tax returns for the last couple of years and we're all square.
Oh, nice. Jake, how about you?
I do.
S- Still paying on? Still paying on them?
Yeah.
Well,
My wife has them though, and but she's in forbearance. I don't really know. She's in forbearance.
I don't know. I don't know how that works.
But when she's not, like I said, it's sell the house, sell the cars, or sell an organ. That's where we're at. Because
I, I do love the delicious irony of selling an organ for health insurance.
mm-hmm.
It's pretty great. All right. Let's take a break. And when we come back, we're going to review some of our favorite gun violence comments. All right, welcome back. What's Left podcast. We are the Punk Rock Garage Band podcast on the Derealization Nation Media Network. If you haven't liked and subscribed already, what are you waiting for? It's time to do it. I got a group of people who probably haven't subscribed yet. Here's some of the hate comments we've got from our last video about gun violence. And I just want to take some time because it's hard to do in the comments section, especially on TikTok. It goes everywhere. It's really confusing and discombobulating. So I want to make sure that we get the point across about all of the issues, if you want to call them that these people raised. It's time to debunk a little nonsense and talk a little common sense. Jake, give us the first, uh, I don't know, 2A
Two,
guy.
three, release them.
Yeah, that. All right. So look
Real
at
quick,
state.
let's everybody. Is this on TikTok? Is this from TikTok?
This is from TikTok.
Okay, real quick, just let's everybody make fun of John for not using night mode on TikTok. All right, back to the regularly scheduled programming.
Okay. I don't even know what the fuck that is. All right. Uh, So this guy says, look at states like Idaho. Highest gun ownership numbers and lowest amount of gun laws, lowest amount of gun violence. Look at California. Super hard to get a gun or carry one. We still have mass shooting, gang violence, and gun violence in general. If you want to vogue for banning guns altogether, you're wasting your breath. Um, it won't happen in the US ever. So move on to how to prevent gun violence and deal with mental health issues because mental health issues don't go away if we don't have guns. Okay.
Um,
So here's the deal. First of all, California has a lower rate of gun violence than Idaho. There are more people in fucking California's pinky toe than there are in Idaho, Wyoming, North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska, um, and their results are better. So on the facts, that is false. Now, Idaho is not a particularly violent state. It's somewhere in the middle. Um, but it's nowhere near as good as California, where those gun laws exist. Anything to add to that, Phyllis?
I don't think that they understand that just because there's 100 deaths in California and only 10 in Idaho. Well, there's also 35 times the population in California that there is in Idaho. They don't understand that if you put that many people in Idaho, given the numbers, more people would die in Idaho. Like they just don't understand it.
Hmm.
They can't comprehend that they just see the number and not the fact that the frequency at which it happens is less than what it happens in Idaho.
Yeah.
mm,
Yep. Yep. Motive, means, and opportunity, right? They may have motive and means, but they lack opportunity. When you live 2 miles from your nearest neighbor, um, and you rely on them for cheese or whatever, you're probably not going to kill them, you know? So
and
it's
also, we do talk about mental health issues all the time on this show, and we are very concerned about them as well.
Yes, again, fund healthcare. It's
Right.
simple. If you actually gave a fuck about this, like if you actually gave a fuck about drugs, then you would fund healthcare, you know?
Certainly.
All right. Go ahead, next one. That's enough. This person's gotten too much oxygen as it is. Too much oxygen. I'll say this. Well, thank you for saying this. The gun violence isn't being committed by the law-abiding 2A enthusiast that has 5 guns in their home. Very specific number. It's being committed by the guys that get their guns illegally that aren't trained or educated on how to use them. It's being committed by people that have mental health issues, the violent ones who that want to harm others. The 2A guy doesn't buy guns so he can shoot another human. He buys them for sport or protection purposes. That is the big difference. So protection from whom?
Think home invasions.
Okay. And if your home is being invaded, is it not being invaded by a human?
I think so.
Okay.
And also,
So
like, what do you like going through your Rolodex to see which gun you want to use your protection for?
That's what I mean. Like, are you like picking out an outfit
Right.
for today?
Like, you're
yeah,
begging to be broken into so you can go through which gun you want to pick for this day.
yeah.
Ooh, I've been waiting for this.
Oh my God, does it depend on the home invader? So clearly, if you're using it for home protection, you do intend to shoot a human being, should that human being invade your property. Um, and some people's definition of that is different than other people's definition of that. Some people like the idea of stand your ground starting somewhere 100 yards from the front door. Some people wholly justified an old man shooting a black kid who ran up on his porch looking for help, shot him through the door. So where does that begin and end, even, you know? So
I don't know, but the cop told my grandpa to make sure he dragged him across the threshold if he shot him. There was somebody roaming through my grandparents' backyard. When he called the cops, he said, "Make sure you drag him across that threshold if you shoot him, because Grandpa, I'm going to shoot him.
yeah.
If I see him, I'm shooting him."
Crazy. I
And
so yeah.
and they were literally like, "Drag him across the threshold before we get there."
And I'll say it as many times as it has to be said, but you are 1,000 times more likely, not 1,000, but a very high number. You are much more likely to be shot carrying a gun than not.
Right.
Much more likely.
And
It's
like They like messed up their own argument. Like that's being committed by the guys that get their guns illegally and aren't trained or educated on how to use them. That's what we want to put in place too. Like, you know what I
Well,
mean? Like this is like all the
I
same.
did ask this guy the same question. I said, "So you're for some
Right.
regulations?" And then he just like lost his mind
Exactly. And it's like
because
if you
I
had to go through
suggested
them
it.
again, would you still have your five guns in your home? Like, you
Yeah,
know what I mean? Like, why are you so mad about it? But
I
then
don't
saying that you need to do it. It makes no sense.
I don't know. A Fox News poll showed that 80% of Americans are for things like wait, 80%, including Republicans, 80%. Fox News, 80% of Americans are for things like the waiting list, background checks, red flag laws, these basic things. Like most people think that. So why the 20% seem to be the only ones who ever comment on these videos, I'll never fucking know. Give us another, Jake.
I would like to think that 80% of America is tired of watching kids die in schools.
Yeah, you should be. If you're not, you should be. Don't understand, and it will just understand this, and it will end the conversation. We don't care what you think is excessive. We have the 2A, and that's that.
I
Hmm.
think I commented back to this guy, actually.
Yeah, care to, yeah. You know what? Next one.
Also, though, I do want to mention that, like, I went to his profile and they have children all in school age. So,
Mm.
like, think about, like, the greater good here. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe dwell on that one for a second.
it's a special kind of thick to not like put two and two
Yeah.
together. That your
Yeah.
kids are the ones that are, we want to see protected as much
Right.
as anyone else. So here's a fucking genius for you. Bacardi, whose privilege is showing in his profile picture where he's golfing. There's 500 million guns in America. If we had a gun problem, we know, which
We
I
do.
we do.
That's why we're
Eh,
talking about it.
Right. So I was very confused. So he obviously defended his position. Go ahead, Brad. Were you going to say something about the gun problem?
Nope, just that he's going to defend his position.
Yeah, so he's going to defend this position by saying there's 300 million cars result in, and that is not a correct number, 50,000 deaths a year. There are 500 million cars result in 40,000 deaths related. Um, we don't have a fun problem. Uh,
I think it was meant to be gun, but also he fails to mention when he talks about the deaths from automobiles that those are car what's the word for it? Accidents.
mhm.
They're not intentional deaths via car.
Yes, also the car is not specifically designed to murder people. That's also not it's not the prime function of an automobile.
That's such a terrible analogy. That's like they don't understand. That's just like an awful analogy.
It is. And also, if you want to treat driving like guns, boy, you're walking a dangerous ground because is driving a right, fellas?
Not without all the fucking rules.
No, it is a
It's a
privilege
privilege.
that can be revoked at any time for any reason, including fines, non-related crimes. You can lose your driver's license for just about any reason because it is a privilege given to you by the state. So be careful what you wish for, bud. Also, those numbers are skewed. They're not correct. They are close. 40,000 deaths happen by automobile accident every year. Almost 50,000 happen by gun. Most of the 28% of auto accidents are drug and alcohol related. Again, sponsor some fucking health insurance. I bet this guy also speeds, which is the second leading cause of death is reckless driving, which is another hidden way of saying while drunk. So also, you know, an underlying issue. Guns are permanent and intentional. As Brad said, most car accidents are accidental. All right. I mean, there's a thousand more problems with it, but that does it for us. We have a mental health epidemic. Pay for health care, not a gun problem. Nearly 75% of gun deaths are suicide. So,
Not a gun problem, but nearly 75% of deaths.
what point did this person think they were making?
I
We
don't know.
talked about this one a little bit, John.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I this is so I mean, yeah, most people who attempt suicide, uh, they regret their suicide attempt. And they live to tell about it. Almost none of those people have used a gun. because a gun is quick and permanent and does not give you time to change your mind or fake it. So a gun is literally the most dangerous way to die. I did not look up whether or not 75% of gun deaths are suicides. I feel like that number is a little bit high.
Not nowadays, I feel like. I
Maybe,
don't
maybe
know. I
not.
could be wrong, but like I don't know.
But the number of gun deaths by suicide are irrelevant because you're still talking like whether or not it is a mental health issue, it is still a gun death. So it happened because that person had access to a gun, um, among the plethora of other issues. Just pay for fucking healthcare, universal healthcare. Problem solved. Right, fellas?
Easy peasy. 58% of all gun-related deaths in the U.S. were suicides.
Yeah. See, that seems a little high.
Hmm.
Yeah. All right. Thanks. We'll wrap that up here. Thanks for watching, listening. Check us out on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. Also, if you haven't liked and subscribed to this video, what the fuck are you waiting for, man? Everybody else is doing it. Getting closer and closer to monetizing this thing, which is like once we hit a certain amount of subscribers, they'll be showing ads. We are completely independent media. We take no outside money and have no sponsors. All of our content is and always will be free. So if you hear an advertisement, fuck that. Don't buy it. We didn't send it to you. We don't endorse it. Um, until next time, I'm John,
Jake.
And I'm Brad.
and that's what's left.
I can't believe that this is what Christians voted for.